Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Unbossed show where we are flipping the script on leadership. We are here talking with Gloria, who is my co-facilitator in the Heart Profit curriculum. And today we have a special guest. His name is Steve Ramona. He is an entrepreneur. He is a leader. He is a TV show host. He is an amazing individual who speaks and teaches and leads with heart, and he speaks specifically to heart. His whole thing is leading with a servant's heart, which I absolutely just love. And so we had to have him obviously on the Heart Profit show. Welcome, Steve. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, both of you rock star women.
Yes, we're excited. We're excited for this conversation. Why don't you give us a brief interview or a brief overview of who you are and what you do today?
Yeah, it started at 18. My family launched a health club and threw me behind the front desk and said, hey, we'll pay, I needed a job, just got out of high school. And I just started checking people in, realizing 60 years later, 40 years later, that I'm starting to build relationships with 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds of very successful people. And conversations started with, have a great workout. Hey, have a great day. Have a great workout. To months later, how was your vacation? How's your grandbaby? How's business going? Well, people became my friends. And they started bringing me resources. Well, building those relationships, one of the gentlemen, Tony, was a financial advisor for millionaires, threw me a book. And he said, Steve, please read this book. And I did, because he called me kid. He said, kid. I said, I will. I said, okay, I'm coming back next Tuesday. I'm going to ask you about it. So I read it. It was a short book, The Wealthy Barber. He came back Tuesday and he said, what lesson did you learn? Take 10% of my income, throw it in the bank and don't touch it. I did. He goes, great. Time went by. We didn't talk about it. Well, 10 years went by. He had left the club. And I looked at the account briefly once in a while. Oh, it's growing a little bit. Well, 10 years later, it's $68,000 in the account. Now, 68,000. Now, this is back in 1980, 81. I was making $10 an hour. I don't know. It was much lower than it is today. So I was like, wow. I called Tony. I still was, connected with him. I said, Tony, thank you. Here's what happened. Let me send you $1,000. That was your job. He said, no, the universe took care of me. I served you. You served me by reading the book and following my lead. So I'm sure a millionaire or something happened in my business because of what you did. So we shared success together by serving each other, by bringing love. He gave me the book with love, Italian love, like, kid, but empathy. And here's the cool thing. We sold the health club in 2000, started a restaurant, top restaurant in 6 months. Why? Because all the love I gave, all the heart I gave to those members, I would reach out, go, hey, I'm at this restaurant, and they flooded to come in and see me. Mm-hmm. Built relationships, built empathy, which I talk about in Business is Missing. And then I started a recycling company in 2006. Same thing, reached out to my network from the restaurant, people I'd met in the health club, and that blew up. I was in 6 figures in 6 months. Most money I've ever seen in my bank account. Me and 2 other guys, small company. I realized bringing your heart into people will help your business. And many big things have happened since.
So your restaurant was the top in 6 months. You achieved a top status with the restaurant.
That's in the street where people were lined out the door. We were waiting list. People wanted to come and see us, see me. Here's the cool thing. We set the restaurant up so I could cook and talk. There was a bar and the tables. It was small, but I'd be cooking fish. And hey, how's your bird? Hey, you see the Giants game yesterday? Or how about those Niners? And the same thing, bringing heart and love to the business, to the customer. They kept coming back. Hey, when are you back? When are you working again? Now, I was the catalyst of it, but it becomes the culture. That's what people came back for as well.
Right. And it's that connection. Because we're wired for connections as human. We're wired to have that connection. And we live in a society that has bred a culture of independence. And so it's directly opposing the human need of connection. And so you provided that for people. You connected with people on a deeper level, and they came back and they came back and they were committed to your success. Which is what we talk about with high-performing people. In order to breed high-performing people, there has to be that connection. There has to be that love between the two. Wow, what a fascinating story.
I just want to jump in. I love that you said it became the culture. And so if people were so attached to you, how did that transition happen with your team, that connection was strong? Because sometimes when people form a relationship with one person, they don't want to let go of that. necessarily. It makes it tougher for others to do it.
You're getting me so excited, Gloria. Sorry for interrupting, because this is such a big subject for me. They follow your lead. When you bring value and love to your business and you're successful, which you will be, if you keep that, your employees, your partners, your board of directors, your competitors are going to follow your lead, because you're always about value and heart first. I think value and heart come together, because you're going to bring value to people because you care. It comes right from the heart when I serve people. This is what I want to do. Is there an outcome? Sure. I don't say I don't care about the outcome, but I don't look at it as a scoreboard. Okay, Gloria, I just gave you 2 referrals. I'll have $100,000 coming by the end of the year. Never do that, because your nerve goes ding, 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 ding. Don't like that. So culture is built on the attitudes of people.
Because it is, one person can have that magnetism and connect with people a little bit easier, but how do you translate that into a team? Like when you hire people, how do you get them to connect with the customers? Have you figured that one out? So you're saying they follow your lead. So they watch what you're doing and then they become like you.
I'm a sales director. I'll give you a great fake story, a play story. So I'm a sales director. I got 10 salespeople. I could take that sales guy, go, you didn't hit quota. You've got 2 months and you're out. Or, hey, Tony, how can I help you? What can I do? What value? And you don't say value, but I'm always thinking, what value could I bring to him? Well, I need help. Okay, let's sit down for 30 minutes, see how we can help you. He goes back and tells the team, oh my God, I'm not hitting quota, but Steve is there to help me, not badger me, not put me down, not look over me. But there's a flip side to this heart thing. And this is very, very important. You have to turn people away that won't follow the heart. So if I have 10 salespeople and I have that person that's fighting me all the time and doesn't want to take action, here, how can I help you? And they go, I'm good, or this is stupid, have that negative response, that shrivels the heart, shrivels the culture. A servant leader, I believe, and a servant heart has to say, you know what? You're not a fit here. But here's the step to take as a servant. Don't go, hey, Joe, you're not a fit here. We're going to have to let you go. Go, Joe, we're going to have to let you go. But I talked to my buddy at this company. I think you're a good fit there. Let me send you over there. So I talk about serving. Most people are at chest level. When it comes to mind, they'll think about, some people are at chin level, which I was a long time. And that's fine, because you're serving, you're helping. But always think how to up level to the nose level, bring it up. And like me, I get 3 to 5 referrals daily. You got to meet Steve. Oh my God, Steve, you got to do this. And I'm talking about myself because anybody can do what I'm doing. This heart thing, this empathy thing is anybody can do. It's not a specific skill set, it's mindset.
And so you said something really important. Like the foundation of this is that you have to trust your people too, and your people have to be trustworthy. They have to be in it with you to have that culture. So really picking your people wisely. And it sounds like you've had an experience where you've probably, I know I have as a leader, been burned from being too compassionate or too much on that end. So there's a balance there. Can you tell a little bit about how you learned that lesson and maybe give some examples of what that looks like if you're too compassionate without the balance?
Yeah, my podcast has really taken off and people have come to me. So I mentor people for free. And that's one thing from my empathy, heart space, servant space. Give your stuff away for free. Your IP is not going to be stolen. And if it is, good luck to them. The universe will take care of them. You have to believe that, because it's happened to me. So I've had a couple of people I've spent hours with to help with their podcast. Guess what? 6 months later, they haven't launched their podcast. Hey, where can we meet? And I have to go, I don't have time right now. I'm sorry. I don't tell them this, but I want to focus on the people that want to take action, not the people that want to just take my time. I have no problem giving my time away for free. But if you're not going to take action, again, that doesn't work. And there's other people I've mentored for years. For 2 years, I helped this guy. Nothing's changed, nothing, because he never took action. That's a problem. And you have to because that is so negative to your universe, because it affects you. Why is he not growing? Sometimes you just got to cut the cord and say, you know what, XYZ person, I can't help you anymore. That is a servant's heart. And that was a big lesson I learned. I'm glad you asked that, Stacey. Wonderful question, because I took off after that. Releasing those people that were negative, that weren't working. You can't have those people in your lives.
And I think people who are naturally compassionate and naturally heart-based as leaders do go through that process of realizing and recognizing, okay, there's certain people that will grow and thrive under this type of leadership, and then there's other people that won't ever change. and recognizing those people. Gloria, you can speak to this. You guys have, what is it, the 5%ers?
5%ers. Yeah, it's just really based on the philosophy of the vast majority of the people in the world, and certainly in our workplaces, they're good, responsible people. They care, they may make mistakes, but it's easy if we focus on them. And the 5% are the folks who don't care. They are not trustworthy, they're not team players. And as leaders, we have to challenge ourselves to just say, I'm not going to invest my time and energy in them, because our job isn't to save them or to turn them around, right? Our job is to believe in people, to coach and develop. And when people show their true colors, and it sounds, Steve, like that was your situation, look, it's not a matter of saving that person or making them successful. If they're not into it, then we're right there with you, which is cut the cord, put your energy into the other 95% where they really do care, where they are going to follow through. And for me, it's just that reminder of our job as leaders it's not to save people.
The one bad apple could destroy the culture of yours. Let's use that sales team. So those 95% are great, can fall into the 5% category because they're like, holy macro, this guy's just not working. This lady's not working. What's Steve doing? And here's the other thing, going from chin to nose level serving. Joe Smith is doing all the bad things like you mentioned, Gloria. It's just not a fit. What's also serving him when I send him somewhere else or he goes somewhere else, it's not a fit. He's not going to grow. We're not going to grow. So if you think the mindset of you're also serving him by letting him go, that's something people don't think about. It's like, oh, okay, it's not helping our team, which is fine. Again, that's the chin level. But let's go to that nose level and go, well, you know what? We're also taking care of them. It makes the firing, getting rid of, whatever words we use, much more palatable because that's what you're doing.
Yeah, and it is, we also have to remember people have a choice. This is the environment. This is the culture. These are the expectations. And let's talk about how you participate in that. And if you don't, and you don't want to, then it is not a fit. And then we don't, my mindset is, then it's not even necessarily my choice. It's their choice. This is how we operate here. And if that doesn't work for you, that's your choice. Now you're taking it another level, which is helping them find some other place to go to sooner than later.
Here's another tip for people and in sales. I learned this, picked this up about 6 months ago, and it's helped me tremendously. When you go and make an offer, you're talking to somebody and they want, hey, I want to buy your coaching program. And they go, I can't right now. I can't afford it. Things are happening. It's uncomfortable. The person really doesn't want to say no, especially if they like it. You're like, oh man, I got another no. Here's a go to nose level with your servant level leadership. You go, I heard something, Joe Smith, that you said, and you said no. I have somebody you need to meet. You need to meet Gloria. I think she can help with something you were talking about during our conversation. Or here's a resource, or here's a tip. Serve them even more after they tell you no. I've found this number to be pretty close. 50% of the time, they'll come back months later and hire you.
Well, because it was about them and not about me or not about you, right? That they see, oh, wow, they really, Steve really does care. Stacy really does care. That was pretty cool that they gave me a referral to a good person. Let me take care of this, grow here. It makes all the sense in the world that they come back.
Takes all their uncomfortableness away when that conversation happens. We've all been there on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
I've had somebody keep pitching me. I'm like, okay, this, they want to sell me something, and don't ever do that, by the way.
I love that, because I think that it is real servant leadership when you're able to see the situation clearly and go, well, if it's not a fit with me, I've got another thought for you. I've got somebody else for you to talk to. I've got another connection to make for you. And that's being a servant to them, and that's selfless.
You guys are brilliant ladies, because I'm going to add to that. What I get from people is, I got expenses, I got this and this and this. Universe loves that. And people I've started doing that are like, oh my God, this client came in out of the blue. I didn't know, because that's what you did. You treat people right. I believe it's God's universe, but whatever, of your faith or not, that universe loves that. The problem is
pay it forward, right?
Pay it forward is, that phrase. We just don't know how, when, or where. But you have to have faith and hope in your heart. I'm going to bring back what your show is all about. In your heart to go, I'm going to take care of these people whatever way I can and exude that as much as I can.
Yeah, my dad had a saying. He'd say, sometimes you deposit in the north and withdraw in the south. You never know. You make those deposits and you don't know where you're going to withdraw, but there's going to be a withdrawal. So you just make the deposit, have faith and trust and move forward. And there's always the payout but it might come from a different direction. I want to talk a little bit about the future of leadership because you're clearly you're living the future of leadership. What I see is the future of leadership. Manoush Shafiq said, jobs of the past were about muscle, jobs of today are about the brain, jobs of the future are about the heart. And so we're taking leaders on this journey into the future of leadership and how this looks. How do you see this culture and leadership of the heart shifting our society at large? And how do you see that impacting our future as humanity?
I've been on 250 shows or more. Nobody's asked that question. That's a brilliant question, because what I see and what I'm seeing is the more all of us, me, Stacy, Gloria, and me, we show the success from servant leadership, from coming from the heart. I mean, I keynote speak and I talk about, why aren't you talking empathy in a business? I'm going to say I love my HR director. She's fantastic. She did this, this, and this. Man, I love you. I'm going to give you a hug. HR might not like, but you know what I'm saying is come from the heart both ways. I see the future because people need to see ROI. They need to see benefits. They need to see, okay, Steve, okay, Gloria, okay, Stacy, I kind of love what you're saying, but what's in it for me? I think that goes away and starts getting broken down with what you're doing. And my goal is 1 million people this year, not see my podcast, but see the message, doing business with a servant's heart, and share it. So Joe shares it with Debbie and 1 million people see that. Between what I'm doing and you're doing, I think next year and the year after, people are going to go, this thing works and it's easy.
It's exciting. To me, that's very exciting because we are in a mental health crisis where people are struggling. The majority of people are struggling. Like it is really impacting a lot of people. And we have a shortage of mental health professionals. So when you look at a society and you have children coming to school at 5 years old with mental health issues, we've got a societal problem that is looming larger than life, and we don't have enough mental health professionals to help these children process through what they're going through. The trajectory is not good at all. When we look at how much time we spend in the workplace, we spend a tremendous amount of time in the workplace. And the majority of people's mental health is impacted either negatively or positively by their workplace, by their work, by their career path, by where they spend their time every day. And so if we bring in this compassionate leadership and integrate it into our workplaces, that's going to have a positive effect on people's mental health. Well, then they go home to their kids in a positive mental health state and they pass that on to their kids. But right now we just have people at top level of stress load that they can handle. Then they go to work and they have a toxic work environment with bosses that are like hit your quota or you're gone, kind of fear-based command and control. And it just adds to the stress. Well, then by the time they get home, they're tapped out and they're tuned out. And so they're either drinking or smoking or scrolling or gaming. They're doing something to numb, and their kids are raising themselves. I mean, but their kids are bathed in that stress, right? And so that's how we're getting this mental health crisis is growing and growing and growing. I really see this movement of compassionate leadership solving that problem in the society at large.
Completely agree. And I'm going to tell you what I mentor when I talk to entrepreneurs. You're the worst space right now because they left the job, they're on their own, or they're at their job and splitting time, which is all great, but stress is at its highest. Tell all my, I mentor hundreds of entrepreneurs, when you're not having a good day, negativity's coming to your life or your business, go serve. Go out and take care of somebody. And I'll give you a great story. I've probably told this 100 times. It's 2:00. I don't leave my office ever. I was too much of a worker back then. I don't do it as much anymore because you don't need to work 10 hours a day. It's crazy. So I left to go get groceries. I was at the store and the lady in front of me with a baby, and I'm in Northern California, and this guy had long hair. Look like a surfer. I said, "Excuse me. By the way, always read their name tag. If you want to serve and practice serving, read everybody's name tag. Say, hey, Tony, thank you for bagging my groceries." Just a side note. That's what, if you want to practice servant attitude, servant mentality, do that. Somebody's good. And they don't have a name tag. I ask them, what's your name? I ask every waiter, waitress. going off tangent here, but that's a powerful way to build that muscle of heart and empathy because people love to be seen. I did that, and his name was Tony, I believe. Tony. And he, what are you doing? Dude, nobody buy, what are you buying groceries? That's weird. It's a calling. I just need to do this. And she's like, no. I finally paid for the groceries, paid for mine. I walked out, got her name, Debbie. Hey, I'm glad I was able to help. And she starts tearing up. Now I'm getting worried. Like, oh my God, did I offend her? My heart started coming into this. I said, I am so sorry. I just had this feeling I wanted to take care of you. She goes, you know what happened? I said, well, tell me. She goes, my husband lost his job last week. I don't know how we're going to pay for these groceries. And you just saved us another week. It was a great thing that I did. And I had no idea. That's why when you serve, you don't know the shoes people are living in. And they may never tell you. This opportunity that's why I shared the story. I was told that. What she can do when she gets home. More important than me, what I did. Hey, hubby. I've never got a husband. Hey, hubby, this guy Steve out of the blue just bought our groceries. What? Why do you? He just had a call. And I just changed the culture of that family. Maybe it's 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, 5 months. I don't want to say I don't really care. I don't focus on that. But we go out and serve. You know how good I felt? My bad day went away. My mental health positivity went up. I know for a fact that stress is relieved when you serve people. I get emails all the time. That was one of the best meetings. I didn't expect you giving me all this service, this value, and I'm pumped up. That's what it can do for you. So I love what you said, Stacey.
That's such a powerful lesson and a powerful story that it's true. I had a similar experience when I went through the total come apart. I had a $5 million business lawsuit, lost it all, lost the husband, like a total come apart. And it happened over a period of time. But the thing I did after I realized that drinking a bottle of wine every night was not sustainable, I had to find another coping mechanism. I started serving. Like I got asked to come help with something and I went and did it. And I was like, for that 2 hours, I didn't think at all about my problems. And so then I was like, sign me up again, sign me up again. And I just went out and started serving. And I did that for probably 5 years, going through that hardest part of my life. But that's what got me through it. That's what got me out of it is like volunteering and serving and doing stuff with charities got me through the hardest part of my life. So I'm so happy that you shared that and talked about
Thank you. I want people to think about, an audience, this is so important. Listen to this. When you're 6, 7, 8 years old, it's Christmas morning. What did you do? You ran to the tree to see that first gift to open. And how excited were you when it was a bike or a Nintendo game, whatever that was? That feeling is what we get to do daily, and it changes you, makes you better, gives you heart instead of mind.
the heart processes information on a different level, and we're not taught. We've been disconnected from that wisdom and that information processing that lives in the heart. But the story you just told of the grocery store, that was your neurons in your body processing information about this woman that you didn't even know, but you got that instinct and that feeling because your body's processing information. Everybody is energy. We're all energy. We're putting out energy. This is getting a little woo, but that's okay. We're here. I'm here for it. But our intelligence of our heart, when we start living with our heart intelligence, we know so much more information. And we don't know how we know it, we just know. And if we learn to follow that, we learn to tap into that and tune into that and connect with our people, our leadership skills just skyrocket. We were talking about the heart connection and being a better leader because you're processing information with your neurons that live in your heart and your gut, as opposed to just always the brain. Well,
Yeah.
and the other thing we were talking about before is our brain holds a lot of negative assumptions a lot of times that aren't even true, limiting beliefs. Gloria, do you want to speak to that a little bit?
We're our own worst enemy when we're focused on the brain because we are looking for, it seems to be worst case scenario or reasons why not to trust or reasons why we can't open up and share, reasons why we shouldn't connect with folks. And it really is, it may be based on some previous experiences, but it really is negative assumptions. And we, have that, and then we just paint everybody with that same broad brush. And before you know it, we're in this cycle of leading in a way that is trying to be solely logical all the time, leading only with the brain, that we have so much missed opportunity. We're missing the opportunity to connect with people. We're missing the opportunity to build relationships. And if you can't do that, leading with heart is not possible. When you're talking about leading with heart, I just want to say to folks, like, what's the risk? What's the downside? I can't think of any downside. I mean, you could have given those groceries to a woman, never heard the story, and she could have just said, okay, great, now I got extra money for drugs or something. The point is, that's not the point. The point is being called to serve, putting yourself out there, and leading with more positive assumptions and leading with heart it's a more rewarding experience.
And Gloria, that's so brilliant what you just said. And here's the story to back. I did 1,800 referrals last year. I did a lot of referrals. Not one of those 1,800 said, what an a-hole Steve is for giving me value. Not one email, not one person go, yeah, the person I introduced you to said they didn't like you. I'm 100%, but I know because people give me referrals. And that's the ROI when you take care of people. But Sandy said something very interesting with connections and with decision. To be heart-minded, you got to make that decision. But there's decisions involved with the business. So decisions are like a freeway or a street. You come to a stop sign. You have three options. You go right, it's the wrong decision. You go left, it's the right decision. Or you keep going straight, that's indecision. And you keep going into a black hole of nothing happening. You meet with Joe Smith to the right. It wasn't a good meeting. You pivot. It wasn't a connection. You're not going to build a relationship. You go right. I meet Stacy and Gloria. Gloria, I come on this great show. Look how my life has changed. I said, I'm not going to meet Stacy. She does something I don't like. So reach out to them. Connect with them because it's truly a gift. Let's go back to gifts. When you meet people, mindset's got to be, this is a gift for me. So I built a principle that's really important for connecting and connecting from the heart. It's called the ASLA principle. ASLA. Ask. You meet somebody, I meet Gloria, I ask, hey, what do you do for your work? I shut up, I listen, and I ask. People go, shut up and listen. What the heck? I said, here's the image. You go in a Zoom room, half the screens are black. There's no video. Again, legitimately, they're in a bathroom, getting a drink of water. But are they hearing what Stacy's saying in that Zoom room? Probably not. So they've shut up, but they're not listening. So I asked that to you, Gloria, and then I shut up and listen. And then I asked, 20 years, oh my God, what are your challenges for your business? You must be rocking it. And then you answer that. And now I've got all this information from my heart, not my head, because I've heard the passions, desires, challenges of Gloria's business. Now I can truly connect. Yeah. Does it help me all the time? No. Does it help with somebody else I introduced to or a resource or a tip? I think I said this earlier, but I get 3 to 5 referrals daily. I've got PR firms reaching out to me. I am nothing special, but I'm special because I take action. And I have that mindset of value. So ask, shut up, listen, and ask. If you just do that principle in your first 3 or 4 meetings, you'll meet a ton of people. By the way, you get to know people and you get to build. Look at me and you, Stacy. We first met. I asked Brad. We got to know each other. I'm on your show. I'm blessed to be able to be here. So I want to add that before we got off.
So Steve, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your passion. I knew we would get the passion going here today. And I love that. So thank you for sharing your perspectives and these tidbits of wisdom that you've learned along your journey into compassionate leadership. If somebody wanted to get to know you better or to work with you, how would they find you?
Reach out to me via email. I do free business mentoring. I do free podcast hosting, workshops, no cost. Come, want to give you all my IP. Steve R 1961 at Gmail. Steve R, my first name, last name, 1961 at Gmail. And I'm going to leave your audience with a gift.
Okay.
Get better 1% every day. Go serve somebody. Go help somebody. Whatever that 1% every day, it's June 10th today, halfway through the year. It's about 250, 160 days, business days left. If you increased 150% in your life personally and professionally, would you grow?
Absolutely. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Gloria, do you have any closing remarks for today?
No. Boom.
Yep. I think that was a mic drop moment.
Thank you both. Appreciate you.
No, we appreciate you. Thank you for being here and for taking the time to be with us today. We appreciate it. And if you want to find out more about how to get involved with the Heart Profit certification process or the Heart Profit movement, you can find us at heartprofit.org. We will see you guys next week.